Have you ever looked at an old, faded photograph, maybe one of your grandparents, and wondered, could the latest AI, actually bring it back to life better than the old ways?
It's a fascinating question, right? Especially now. We're asking today, is something like ChatGPT getting close to outperforming those specialized photo restoration tools?
Exactly. And we're looking into this because there's been a real buzz online, sparked by an article titled, Restaurez vos vieilles photos avec ChatGPT. La méthode qui cartonne en ligne.
Which basically translates to restore your old photos with ChatGPT, the method that's a hit online.
Right. It just came out online May 5th, 2025. So our mission today is to figure out, well, how exactly is ChatGPT being used for this? What are the results really like?
And crucially, does it actually stack up against the more established traditional methods?
Yeah. It's interesting. The article points out this isn't the first AI art trend. Remember the Ghibli-style images everyone was making?
Oh, yeah. That was huge for a bit.
Okay.
So now the focus has kind of shifted to working with existing photos, specifically old ones.
Seems like it. And apparently the first tries, they weren't so great. The article mentions early attempts with ChatGPT for restoration gave, let's say, lackluster results.
But then, about 10 days before the article dropped, some Reddit users supposedly stumbled upon some prompts.
Ah, the magic prompt idea.
Pretty much. Prompts that significantly boosted the quality. And that's what kicked off this whole new wave of interest.
It really shows how much user experimentation drives things forward in AI, doesn't it?
Absolutely. And the article even gives us the specific prompt people are using. It's in French, but essentially it says, enlarge and colorize this photo while faithfully respecting the era.
Okay, so respecting the time period. What else?
Do not modify the composition, the expression, the background, or the clothing. Only add colors and details consistent with the period.
Very specific instructions there. Don't mess with the core elements.
And the final bit. The final version must perfectly overlap the original image. So maintain the alignment and scale precisely.
Okay, so it's enlarging, adding color, but being really careful about not changing the fundamental picture.
Exactly. But here's where the article makes a really important distinction. It calls this process more of a reconstitution.
A reconstitution, not a restoration.
Right. More like an intelligent recreation, almost like a high-tech forgery in a way, than a true fixing of the original.
That's a key difference. So traditional restoration aims to repair and bring back the original state as much as possible.
Precisely. Often painstaking work by experts. ChatGPT seems to be, well, enhancing resolution, adding color, maybe filling in details based on its training data about that era.
So it might look sharper, more vivid, but it's an interpretation, not necessarily the original reality.
That seems to be the idea. An informed guess, if you will.
Right.
Though the article does say users are finding the results pretty faithful, relatively speaking.
And entertaining, it mentions. People are having fun with it online.
Definitely an entertainment factor. It's a visually engaging way to see old pictures differently. But the article gives some sensible advice, too. Be cautious, especially with your own irreplaceable family photos. Maybe don't start with Great Aunt Mildred's only portrait.
Good point. So test it out first.
Yeah. They recommend using public domain images. Things you find online where privacy isn't an issue, just to see how it works, given it's still experimental.
Makes sense. And it also notes that because it's so popular right now, you might hit a queue, some waiting time.
Yeah, high demand. They even mention an example somebody tried restoring that famous photo of Einstein by Arthur Sass.
Ah, okay. But it's not always smooth sailing, is it? There was a user comment mentioned.
Right, someone named Gabasalimk. They tried to use it for colorization but got blocked.
Blocked? Why?
Content policy. Apparently, the AI flagged it as a realistic modification of a face, even a historical one like Einstein's.
Huh. So concerns about potential misuse, like facial recognition data or creating deepfakes.
Seems like it. The system saw a potential issue with modifying faces realistically and stopped it. Interestingly, ChatGPT apparently suggested the user try other, perhaps more specialized tools instead.
Wow. Okay, so there are built-in guardrails, even if they sometimes block legitimate uses.
It highlights the complexities, doesn't it? Balancing capability with responsible use. So if we boil down the article's takeaways.
Yeah, let's summarize.
ChatGPT, using these specific prompts, can enlarge old photos and add color that looks period appropriate. It adds detail.
But it's more of a reconstruction, not a precise restoration.
Exactly. The results can look good, even faithful to a degree, but it's not quite the same as expert human work yet.
And users should manage their expectations, maybe stick to public domain images for playing around, and be aware of potential policy blocks.
That about covers it. It's an interesting development for sure.
Definitely. So to wrap up, while ChatGPT is showing some pretty cool potential for breathing new life into old photos, enlarging, colorizing with these prompts, it's acting more like a reconstructive tool right now,
Yeah.
not quite precision restoration.
The results can be quite striking, but yeah, there are limitations, policy hurdles, and it's not replacing the experts just yet.
It makes you think, though, where does this go next? How might these AI tools evolve to offer, more nuanced, more accurate restoration? Could they eventually navigate these policy issues more effectively?
And what are the ethical questions that pop up as the tech gets even better at recreating or modifying images, especially historical ones? Lots to consider there.
Absolutely. Well, that's our deep dive for today. This has been Le Podcast de Flip.
And hey, if you found this look into AI and old photos interesting, we'd really appreciate your support.
Yeah, help us get to 1,000 subscribers. It lets us keep bringing you these kinds of in-depth discussions. Thanks for listening.